Hey everyone, so I wanted to talk about, as I try to position myself into the best lighting, I wanted to talk about Vampire Academy because can I tell you, awesomest movie I've ever seen with a book to a movie, at least young adult wise. I haven't seen like some of the other movies that I've read because I know like some Nicholas Sparks ones I've seen, but I haven't read the books. But anyway, so sound like a chain smoker, y'all. I'm dying. Anyway, so you guys are just gonna have to excuse my voice as it's like turning into a raspy death sentence. Anyway, so I want to talk about Vampire Academy because number one, best portrayal from a young adult movie or young adult book to a movie. Um, I'll just mention right now, I didn't like the Moral Instruments movie as much. I understand where they were going for, I think, like the darker aspects, but for me, the first book is not so dark. It's more lighthearted, as is most first books in young adult series. So I wasn't really happy with how they did that. And my personal preference, I just didn't really like it. I mean, I'll watch it if it comes on, but it's not something I'll like avidly buy and all that stuff. Anyway, and like Beautiful Creatures, personally, even just watching the movie, I was kind of confused. I was just a little underwhelmed by all I had seen in the trailers. So that's where I am with that. Although I want to read the book, so my plan is to hopefully buy a copy and then read it. And then The Hunger Games. I've read The Hunger Games, but it's been a few years. So just reading, just remembering all that I do from the books to the movie. At some points, I felt very confused by it. Although my sister has told me, because she's seen Catching Fire, that Catching Fire is so much more for everyone because you can understand it, you can easily follow it. It's not like really confusing. So I thought that was good. And then I thought this was going to be like a review of Vampire Academy, which I'm going to record in a couple of minutes. But I thought I would talk about portrayals of books to movies just because what's my hair doing? Um, just because I found that a lot of the I shouldn't blame it on the directors, but a lot of the production team will take the book and keep like the basic structure of it, but not even like the story. Not, I mean, I shouldn't say storyline because they do keep the storyline, but they change it so much, all the details, that it's almost like not even the book, if that makes any sense. And for me, Vampire Academy kept its skeleton, which is really important for me because I want to be able to point everything out. And there are a couple of details I know they changed, but I think that it went well with the way they were going cinematically with it, so I don't blame them. But I'm trying to think. The Host. Okay, I haven't read that book in a couple of years, and seeing the movie, I was wondering how much they had changed it. And actually, I personally thought that the movie was really good, but that book for me was really hard to read because I went to 13 chapters and then my friends told me when I stopped at the 13 chapters that that's when it starts getting really good. So I think that the speed that the host went in was perfect because literally 13 chapters of Melanie being lost. Not that 13 chapters she was lost the whole time, but I was just like, I just need everything together. And I feel like the host was not that bad of a portrayal, which you guys can argue with me on that. But I actually liked the movie. And maybe that's because I haven't read The Host in a while. But I mean, that's what I like. And then, what else there? Trying to think. I think that's actually it, though. But if you guys have seen or read any books that have become movies, leave them down below, because I do want to read them and I want to like get my feel for it and then go see it. Although sometimes I don't care much and I want to see it as the movie itself. Like the movie Safe Haven. Okay, this isn't even a young adult book. It's by Nicholas Sparks, I believe. Don't kill me if it's wrong. I apologize. But Safe Haven for me it was okay. I felt like the climax to get to the point where you find out like the girl is being chased by her husband and stuff. For me it wasn't as like climactic and like bam, this is, really what's going on. And it was cliche, but then it was also like, I didn't really get a feel for why I should continue watching it. It was an okay movie, I feel. It was like a 3 out of 5. I liked it, but it wasn't that great. I heard that the book was much better, as usually most of them are. And then the last song with Miley Cyrus and Chris Hemsworth, which, don't hate me because I really like that movie, but I actually really liked the movie because, like, if a movie can make me cry, not many movies make me cry, but when a movie can make me cry, I find that to be one of the best things a movie or television show in general can do for me, is because that's when I know that the acting, I know that's probably like the one thing you shouldn't think of when you're going through that, but really if the acting is, that's when I know, because you can have a tough subject, you can have a rough, like you can have someone dying, but if the acting isn't believable, you don't cry. And so for me, in the last song, when, spoiler alert, when Greg Kinnear dies, I bawled because I love Greg Kinnear from that movie now. And so I will tell you guys a funny story, that when I saw Greg Kinnear guest star on Modern Family, I literally yelled with my brother beside me. He was like right here, right beside me. I said, "Oh my god, Greg Kinnear, you're alive." And like I slammed the table and everything. My brother was like, "What are you doing?" And I was like, "Greg Kinnear's alive, he's alive." And he was just like, "I don't understand." But like, yeah. So, oh my gosh, it's really snowy outside. Sorry, I'm very excited that it's snowing. But yeah, so that's basically it. And that's just like what I feel that I realize now that I'm like super off topic, but I feel that a lot of movie companies and just you really have to, I feel like, as a reader and a huge fan of the books, you have to do your research on the directors and everything. And I'm not saying that the directors and the production team or anyone is like awful if they've like done a movie that bombed, because it's honestly not their fault. I mean, to a certain extent it might be, but it's not their fault that the reception wasn't done well. It's also a lot of marketing, because I know that for me, Mortal Instruments, it was an awful marketing. Like it was awful. I didn't know. Their marketing was not good, because I didn't even know when it was coming out until about a week or a month before, and to me that's not enough time. I feel like you have to really focus in on marketing at least 2 months before and just bombard people. Just keep doing it. And I feel like for Vampire Academy, a lot of awesome things that they had were the Twitter, oh my gosh, I use Twitter too, I sound like an old person. Anyway, so Twitter and Facebook and YouTube, like they posted up interviews and clips, and they just, kept people wanting to see it. And for me, that was the best thing they could have done, because I love watching clips and all of that stuff, because to me, that makes me more hyped to go see it. And for me, Vampire Academy didn't fail, because it didn't fail, at least. Also, Hunger Games, can I tell you, I want them to be grungy. I want them to be dirty. I want them to be mud. Like, for me, District 12 when they explain it in the book, when Suzanne Collins says that they're like the poorest one, I'm expecting them to be dirty, to be in clothes that, like, yes, I understand that when they were doing the reaping, they had like that one nice dress. But I expect everything else. I expect them to be torn. I expect them to be distressed. I don't expect them to have the nicest clothes. And just in general, that movie wasn't dirty enough for me. Um, because, I mean, you can tell me if I'm wrong, but if you think about the poorest district, and this isn't even like referencing society here, I'm talking about society in there, how it's the poorest district, how it's coal mining, like, I expect to see everyone just grungy and dirty. And they at least got this, like, for me, the scenery aspect of it, I loved seeing that, because to me that represented District 12, but their clothing, because I'm a costumer and a designer for theater, and that's my major, I just, it bothers me immensely. But yeah, so this became like from 5 minutes to 11 minutes, but I hope you guys enjoyed this, and please tell me like other young adult and just in general movies that come from books, and just let me know what you think, and let me know if you agree with anything I've just said, because otherwise I've been blabbing for like 30 hours. I'm just kidding. But yeah, I will see you guys later, and thanks for watching. Bye.